Now, we can see this process going on in our lives today. That if you look, for example, at the mid-20th century, and you compare it to the year 2000, so the end of the 20th century, how many minutes did you have to work to earn the money that would give you the purchasing power necessary to buy a loaf of bread? Well, it was 6 minutes in the middle of the 20th century. It was down to a little over half that, 3.5 minutes, by the turn of the century. Because your labor, thanks to the available machinery, was more productive. You could produce more stuff quicker, and therefore your labor was worth more and could command more resources. Likewise, what about a dozen oranges? Well, in the mid-20th century, you'd have to work 21 minutes to earn the money that would have the purchasing power necessary to buy you a dozen oranges. By the end of the 20th century, instead of 21 minutes, it's like 9. So less than half the time is necessary. Or if you want 100 kilowatts of electricity. Now, this is going to be a little tricky now because of this little complication. But we'll just go from, it's our friends, the new wonderful poison bulbs. It's now a bragging point that this bulb says, hey, no poison in it. No poison. You can see it's got no mercury. So let's leave aside the benefits of the 21st century and stick with the 20th. But 100 kilowatts of electricity. You'd have to work for 2 hours in 1950 to earn the purchasing power to buy that. By the end of the 20th century, it was only 14 minutes. And it goes on and on and on. Like a pair of jeans, well, at the beginning of the 20th century, you'd have to work 9 hours to get that purchasing power, to buy that. By the middle of the century, it was 4 hours, and then by the end of the century, it was 3. How about a 3-pound chicken, you're all dying to ask me? Well, the answer to that is over 2 hours, nearly 3 hours in 1900, 71 minutes in 1950, and 24 minutes by the end of the 20th century to earn the money necessary that would give you the purchasing power to buy you a 3-pound chicken.